I'm sorry, we're a minute late. We're so busy with what our former city attorney would call jocularity. Good to see each of you tonight, and we'll move right into our meeting. Our agenda, for those who perhaps are not aware, the copies of the agenda are there in a little pocket right there by the little gate, if you'd like to have one. The agenda might say that the invocation is to be given by Travis Ferris tonight. As Travis come in the past few minutes, we've asked that Minister Jamie Jordan of the First United Methodist Church would come and give our invocation. Also, one who's worked much in what was called the Room in the Inn project and the Madison Home, and I think maybe even a more formal relationship is coming with Madison Home.
We'll see, won't we?
Yes, indeed, we will. We will. Good to see you tonight, Jamie.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Let's pray. God, we thank you for your presence here. Thank you for all these good servants of your people here in this community. I'm so deeply appreciative of the work that they do. So, Lord, in the time ahead, I just pray that you will give us your wisdom to help the people thrive and to flourish as you desire for us all to do. So may your blessings be upon us. May we be a blessing to others. And we pray this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. And for perhaps there are those who are not familiar yet with our new chief of the Richmond Fire Department, who've asked Chief Brooks Elder to come and lead us in the pledge to the flag. And he's always got that smile.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. We'll call our meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goebel, Commissioner Newby,
Here.
Commissioner Brewer,
Here.
Mayor Blythe.
Here, thank you. We have our minutes as a part of our packet tonight from the special call meeting that was held September 25th, 9 a.m., and then the regular meeting that was held September 26th, 6 p.m. We had a chance to look at those. May we have a motion, please, that we will approve the minutes as presented?
I move.
Commissioner Newby.
Second.
Commissioner Brewer. Is there any discussion, question, comment about the minutes? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Ordinance 23-33, an ordinance of the City of Richmond, Kentucky, declaring the city's intent to annex 2038 and 2040 Irvin Road into city limits and referring the annexation to the Richmond Planning and Zoning Commission for zoning classification. This is a second reading. We will therefore vote tonight. Mr. Attorney, please.
Whereas Paul and Bobby Taylor, the owners of the property described below, have requested consent to a voluntary annexation into the city limits of said tract, herein the property. Whereas the property is contiguous to the city's boundaries and is urban in character, and whereas no part of the property proposed to be annexed is included within the boundary of another incorporated city, and whereas the City of Richmond is capable of providing city services to the property, and whereas the Board of Commissioners of the City of Richmond, Kentucky finds it to be in the public interest that the property be annexed into the city limits. Now, therefore, be it ordained as follows. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 81A of the Kentucky Revised Statutes, and the City of Richmond, Kentucky does hereby express its intent to annex into the city limits that said tract of property, more particularly described as follows. Paul and Bobby Taylor owners, 0.45 acres plus or minus, 2038 and 2040 Irvin Road, Richmond, Kentucky, Deed Book 770, page 26 through 28. This matter is hereby referred to the City of Richmond Planning and Zoning Commission for that body's recommendation as to the appropriate zoning classification. This ordinance shall be effective immediately upon adoption following second reading and publication in accordance with the provisions of applicable Kentucky law.
Thank you, sir. This is the second reading of ordinance 23-33. May we have a motion, please, and bring to the floor for discussion and approval?
So moved.
Mr. Cole.
Second.
Commissioner Newby. Is there any discussion? I think in the last meeting, when we had the first reading, we discussed why there was such a small piece of property that was being annexed into. I don't think there was Is there any further discussion, question, comment? Anything that needs to be added?
I'll just reiterate, we do not wish to seek a zone change. However, we certainly understand and we'll be happy to go before planning and zoning. This isn't going to be developed. They certainly just wish to allow themselves the access to the city utilities and be a part of the city. This is always going to be the same scenario. It will be primary residential.
All right. Any further? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Corey. Order 23-174, an order of the City of Richmond hiring an employee for the Finance Department. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the Finance Department is in need of a full-time finance clerk, and whereas the position was advertised and interviews conducted, and whereas the city manager has recommended a hire for the position. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the following individuals hired contingent upon their successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements as a finance clerk for the Finance Department, pay grade 2, effective November 6, 2023. Catherine Hollis, she's an at-will employee and will serve a one-year probationary period. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This is Order 23-174. May we have a motion, please, to bring to the floor for approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Brewer,
Second.
Commissioner Newby, is there any discussion? There being none, Sharon's not here. Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-175, an order of the City of Richmond accepting a retirement by an employee in the Police Department. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas William O'Donnell, Assistant Police Chief, has submitted his retirement notice to the city on September 20th. Now therefore be it ordered by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners accepts the retirement of William O'Donnell from the Police Department effective October 31st, 2023. The city would like to thank him for his service and dedication to the department since 2003. This order shall become effective immediately upon adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
I suggest that we just pretend we didn't have him, go on to the next one.
Yep, I second that.
He's been there that long? I remember
May
when
we
he
have
was
a
born.
motion, please, to adopt Order 23-175.
I move.
Commissioner Newby,
Second.
Commissioner Brewer. Certainly, we appreciate his service, and if we could do that and get away with it, Madam Parliamentarian, we'd rip it out and pretend it wasn't even there. Any discussion? He served us well. He served us well, right, Chief? If you say no, we'll rip it out.
Rip it out. He
But what-
served us very well.
Yes.
In conclusion,
Yes.
He's a major asset to us, and he's been a team member of mine that it's going to be hard to replace.
Yes.
Just curious, I mean, just not to be nosy, but what's he planning on doing?
He's going to take care of those little ones.
Okay, that's a
He's
job.
got some little ones at home, and, you know, that's a priority for him, and I think that's an honorable decision to make right now, and, he's just kinda in a good spot where he can retire. He has the time in to do it, so, but we'll keep in touch with him.
Time
You
flies.
know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
His grandma and my dad were brother and sister, so he's got good blood in him.
He's a good guy.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank
Yes,
you all.
indeed. We'll come by and say farewell to him, at least for the meantime. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please, for the record.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-176, an order of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Richmond, Kentucky, directing that the Director of Finance to open a certain bank account. Mr. City Manager, please.
Whereas the city is the recipient of various funds which are required to be segregated from the other city funds, and whereas the city's Director of Finance wishes to open and maintain a separate bank account for such monies, Now therefore be ordered by the Board of Commissioners that the Director of Finance is hereby authorized to open and maintain the following bank account. City of Richmond Park Project Account at Central Bank, Richmond, Kentucky. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. That's Order 23-176. May we have a motion, please? Bring to the floor for approval.
So moved.
Commissioner Cole,
Second.
Commissioner Brewer, is there any discussion?
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir, please.
As you well know, we closed on the bonds we issued for the new park project last week. I think you signed about 80 documents in doing all that.
Yes, sir.
We did get a free lunch out of it, though, but we are required to open a separate bank account for this project. So this bank account, when we draw down that money for this project, will go into this account, and then we'll pay out of it to the contractors for the park.
And I think the instruction was, and you want to do some paying real quickly, right?
Yes, that's
Get
right.
that money
Don't let
forward.
it sit. That's
Yes,
correct.
sir. That's fine. Any further discussion? Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-177, an order of the City of Richmond directing the Finance Director to open a separate fund account. Mr. City Manager, please.
Whereas the city has an established new park project fund, which is required to be segregated from the city funds, and whereas the city finance department wishes to maintain separate funds for accounting purposes, now therefore it be ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the Director of Finance is hereby authorized to separate and maintain the following fund. City of Richmond, number 205, Sports Complex at Goggins Lane Funds. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. That's Order 23-177. May we have a motion, please? Bring the floor for approval.
So moved.
Commissioner Cole,
Second.
Commissioner Newby, is there any discussion?
This just goes hand in
Yes, sir.
hand with the previous order establishing the fund for the project.
Any further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-178, order of the City of Richmond authorizing the release of funds to Madison Homes. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the City of Richmond has committed for fiscal year '24 funding to Madison Home in order to operate their necessary community services for the unhoused population, and whereas they are ready to draw down the required funds to operate the facility, and whereas invoices have been submitted for the drawdown, now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the City of Richmond shall authorize a release of funds for a drawdown number 1 to Madison Home for the Homeless Shelter Project Fund for in the amount of $60,000. These ARPA expenditures were adopted by ordinance 23-20 and will be utilized for administrative costs. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's Order 23-178. May we have a motion, please, to bring to the floor for approval?
I move. Second.
First and second. You could sort them out, Madam Clerk.
We'll do Brewer
Please,
and
ma'am.
Newby. Yeah.
Is there any discussion? This is certainly a good thing, one of those opportunities we had to bless our community with such wonderful timing, in spite of the fact that it was during a difficult time period for our country. Still, it was a good timing opportunity for us to help some of the efforts, and this being one of those that we're trying to be certain is successful. No further discussion. Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. I guess somebody needs to tell Mindy she missed a short one.
Don't say that yet.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah. This is the public comments period. If there's someone in the audience who has come who wishes to address the commission, Madam Clerk, is there anyone that's come through the office that wants to be on for 5 minutes? All right. The maximum then is 5 minutes. Anyone in the audience who wishes, yes, come, and please give your name to the clerk, and tell us what you have on your heart.
My name Commissioners. Good afternoon. The Democrat Women's Club applied to set up a booth at the Millstone Festival for the purpose of registered voters. The application for a booth listed the name of the organization and the proposed activity. Festival organizers approved that application. The day of the festival, 2 members of the club set up the booth on the public street, and we offered festival goers a chance to register to vote by use of either paper ballots that are issued by the Secretary of State or a QR code they could scan, which would take them directly to the page at Secretary of State to register to vote. Excuse me. There were no partisan pamphlets, no signs, no stickers, no materials. We didn't solicit votes. We were simply there, since today is the last day to register to vote, to encourage people to register to vote. We answered questions that anybody had primarily. Some of them pertain to some younger people that said, well, I don't know if I'm vote or not. Well, when's your birthday? You know, because depending on when your birthday falls, you can register to vote. Anyway, those were the type of questions we had. So Mr. Meinrich approached me during the festival and said that the city of Richmond did not support political activity at the festival. And you and I both know, notwithstanding that fact, every current and aspiring political person imaginable was out on the street talking politics, which is fine. Accordingly, I was told that I had to remove the sign indicating that the voter registration materials were being distributed by the Madison County Democratic Women's Club, or remove the booth. It was apparently not the activity of registering, but the fact that the name of our organization has Democratic in it. So I chose to pack my toys and go home. The festival vendor application plainly states no political pamphlets. A sign with the name of your club, yes, I know, it had the word D in it, capital D, but that is not a political pamphlet. Again, we were not distributing pamphlets, political material. However, a candidate for a statewide office was, however, there, campaigned up and down the street, and there were many pictures on Facebook with him doing so. It seems to me that encouraging citizens to register to vote is something we should encourage. It was not political. It is not political. If I had my way, everyone that could vote would register and vote. That would certainly help our democracy. But even if it were denying one's ability to do that, runs deeper than poor judgment. My right to be where I was, doing what I was doing, in a legally protected right. It is not suggested that a candidate for state treasurer cannot walk up and down the street wearing campaign clothing, posing and having pictures taken with city officials. I'm not suggesting that's wrong or prohibited, nor should it be. It is my belief that I and others like me have a constitutionally protected right to do what we were doing, where and when we were doing it, and that the city's prohibition of me exercising that right was both embarrassing and a clear violation of my rights. I hope you appreciate the seriousness of this. The First Amendment is one of the core tenets of our democracy, and one which we should all do our duty to respect and protect. I ask not that you favor one political party or political action over another, but merely to have my rights and those of others respected. The irony of being removed by a government official in violation of the First Amendment for an effort to register voters is puzzling. I hope that irony does not escape you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Eves. You know what I'm getting ready to say? Ordinarily, we would not respond, as it is public comment period. Since you were named,
Yes.
would you wish to respond?
Absolutely. When we established this festival 4 years ago in the planning phases, we decided as part of the guidelines that we would not allow any political affiliation with booths that can be purchased for the festival. This slipped by the application process in our Parks Department. We have no problem with somebody registering people to vote. But we just feel like, let me give you an example. If we're in a federal, state, and local election cycle, and we allow for political booths at our festival, we're liable to have 20 booths set up. So unfortunately, and I spoke with Ava, I apologized. I had a commissioner call me upset, and I had another political party upset about it. We felt like at the time it was fair to ask her not to fly her Democratic club banner, but she could continue to register people to vote. I felt like that was a fair middle ground, and I understand that. But the stance we'll take moving forward is that there'll be no political booths at the festival.
Okay, hold that thought just a moment. Mr. Attorney, would we need any, I'm serious here, any real clarification of the use of the term political? What just guide us here. We won't get into it right now, but do you think that would be also advisable?
Absolutely, I'm happy to research that and
Thank you,
brief the
sir.
commission.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
And it may be to find middle ground that we allow a two-party booth, a Democratic booth and a Republican booth, and that's it in the festival to register people to vote. Maybe that's the fair middle ground we find.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point. Do you know me well enough to know what I'm about to say? I'm with you, a Republican and Democrat. But what if, let's see, help me out, Mr. President, the Green Party, the Libertarian.
Independent.
So on, independent, someone in.
Right.
Just, so I'm glad we're researching, and then we'll have an intelligent way to approach it. Thank you.
I
Mr.
do
Senator.
apologize for the situation with the Women's Democratic Party. I was trying to be apologetic, but I was put in a position where I had leadership calling me upset, and I had another party calling me upset. I approached Parks and Recreation about how this happened. It obviously slipped through. I do think in one of our meetings, we talked about allowing someone to do voters registration. But like I said, we really want to keep the politics out of this festival. The festival isn't about politics. It's about celebrating our community.
Then that would not restrict, Mr. Attorney, is that right? Someone walking, it's actually
Purchasing a booth.
Purchasing a booth.
Applying and purchasing a
Okay,
booth, yeah.
That may guide us in how to approach the application process. In the days
We'll
to come.
research it and try to find fairness in it.
Was there something else you wanted to add?
Well, I guess, in all this, and it's sad to say, but the answer is probably that we don't ever need to buy booths just what we do out on the street. It was not our intent at all. We were trying to follow the guidelines set forth in the application, and our booth name and number was Madison County Democratic Women's Club.
Let's discuss that then. Thank you, Mr. Senator. Is there another wishes to speak?
Back in 2019, we started a homeless ministry in this community by the name of Room in the Inn. That has now been sort of rebranded as Madison Home. Our mission is still the same, to end homelessness in Madison County. And I'm just here to say thank you to our city, to you all. The city has been supporting this effort since we began. And so I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the Richmond Police, who have also made sure we are doing this in a safe way. And so on behalf of the board of Madison Home, thank you to a city that supports our efforts to take care of those who are less fortunate. We appreciate you.
Thank you for doing the work also. There are certain things the city can and cannot do, that the government can and cannot do. Again, back to that timing I mentioned a moment ago, being able to do what we did. The timing just provided us with some resources that we might not ordinarily have had access to. And having the people who are willing to do what's necessary to make those funds. There was a Native American, an indigenous person from Cherokee, who was a professor on campus and part of our church conference, blah, 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 blah. The point is, she used to tell me, I like your prayers because in our tradition, your prayers have feet. And Jamie, you and all the wonderful people gave feet to the prayers of this community when we were asked, what are y'all doing? Well, city manager's standing there with a big wallet full of money, and he's handing us money. But Mayor, we've got the money. We've got to have somebody who's going to do the work, and that's what you have done.
Happy to help them.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for what you do. You and all of the fine folks at Madison Home. Yes, sir. Anyone else from the audience? Spencer, good to see you tonight. Some of you may not have met him yet. The new reporter from the Richmond Register, and he'll be spending lots of time with us, probably more than he desires, but we appreciate some of the things he's already done. No one else from the audience? Commissioner Cole? Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, just a second. Mr. City Manager, anything else you want to report? I'm sorry.
I've got a couple items. The Main Street Light project is still ongoing. I know you're probably going to see some lights on, some lights off. We're messing with the timers. They're about to complete the single street light poles. They got to come back and do the traffic signal light globes on top. So I would hope by the next week and a half, we'll be complete with that and be done. So be patient with us as you see different lights on and different lights off. The Armory Park project, we have scheduled the ribbon cutting for Friday, October 27th. That'll be 2 weeks from this Friday. The new park groundbreaking will be the first week in November. We don't have a date and time nailed down yet. I can tell you that Allen Company moved on the property Monday. So that was our first day to start the project. And they're doing some erosion control, and we'll start mobilizing equipment. And then the other thing I had, the Great House Duckhorn traffic signal was re-advertised Saturday, and bids are due on the 27th. So I think we finally will get some traction on that project. And thank you to everybody that worked the Millstone Festival. That was a team effort from all departments, and it was another successful festival. Very proud of everybody. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Cole?
Well, just a couple of real quick things. This weekend, well, I guess it starts Friday night, is EKU homecoming weekend. So I just encourage our community members to, participate, to say hello to visitors that are in town that are coming back to EKU, to reminisce about when they were an EKU student and all that good stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to thank Kelly and others in administration here that we're going to have a float to celebrate the 225th birthday, that's hard to say, of Richmond. So watch for our float in the parade, and thanks to all that have made that happen. That's going to be fun. And just second of all, we've had a lot of activity on Barnes Mill in terms of putting in new sidewalks, and I know that folks are excited about that, so just use extra caution if you're driving down Barnes Mill, because there's some, there's some detours. We'll be there for a little bit. But excited to see that we're going to be able to get some new sidewalks on Barnes Mill, so that's a good thing. I think that's all.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Brewer?
We did manage to get that, Derby Chase, excuse me, my voice, cleaned up, or are we in the process of
We,
cleaning
the,
that up?
the company that owns the lots mowed the lots, but there's still a large pile of dirt on one of the lots. He claims that it's left over from a city project. Our folks are telling me that we've never done anything out there, but
Yeah.
I'll get it resolved one way or another here in the next couple days.
Okay. The Millstone Festival, you alluded to that. That's the reason why my voice isn't here. I got out too early. I should have been homebound. But we started parking cars at 5:30 for the, car show. And, it was just a busy day. It was a fun time. I got to see Jim there and Tammy and the mayor. We all had a good time. A lot of celebration for 225 years city. Wow. I feel like I did all 225 years.
My youngest son got a kick out of Commissioner Newby with his neck brace, no offense, but Jim pulls out a straw so he can drink beverages.
Yeah.
My son Evan couldn't get past that. He kept asking about the straw all night, so.
You don't want to spill anything.
He did. And, the darker side of things is not here, but, you know, we all have friends and, some relationships, but we had Ukraine, now Israel. I've got some friends that are on their way back from there. And, let's just pray for everybody. That's all I can say now. Hopefully, this doesn't escalate anymore. And I guess that's it, Mayor. I'm not gonna speak that long.
Commissioner Newby?
Just want to piggyback on a couple of things Commissioner Brewer said. First of all, thank you, Mr. City Manager, for the Derby Chase area. Like we said, you know, it's in the city, but it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, and a lot of places, you know. I've run across a lot of people that don't even know that it's in the city limits.
Yeah.
But I had a talk, and we're gonna fix everything or go down that route. Also piggybacking on the Millstone Festival. Obviously, I was only good for about an hour and a half, but it seemed to go quite well. Everybody had a good time, and I was mostly impressed with learn a lot, because I'm a history guy, and the rock dedication. What was the lady that gave the history?
Sharon Graves.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't aware of any of that. So, but it went well, and I thought it was very commendable. So, that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let me mention a couple of things quickly. First of all, tomorrow will be the big celebration for the completion of the project at the Bluegrass Army Depot, the destruction of the chemical weapons. Senator McConnell and many others, Deputy Secretary of Defense and so on, will be a part of that celebration. It's at 11 there at the Army Reserve portion of the Bluegrass Army Depot, so you won't have to have a pass to get in there, at least not in that section. Not sure what they'll be doing at the door. Also, Mr. City Manager, I don't want to hear your mouth. You always remind me of the team, and so right in doing so. But for that festival, thank you for giving the leadership to the team that resulted in what we witnessed on Saturday. Yeah, there were folks from every department there, and that's just tremendous. But still, they had to have some leadership, and thank you for the leadership you gave to that to the team. Let me also mention that around the corner, the Enrich project had an event on Friday evening, and they made a big announcement. They had applied for a grant, and Daniel gave me permission to do this, applied for a grant through the opioid settlement funds, and they'd asked for $592,000 plus. It was announced by Daniel Friday night that they actually received a grant, first of all, because everybody doesn't get one, and they received a grant for $595,000.
Perfect.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So they will move forward, we're sure, in a big, big way. Well attended, and there's lots of volunteers around the community who are participating in that work. I join with you in being concerned about our world as the conflict in the Middle East certainly should concern us all. There are lots of folks I'm finding out every day now from here and near, and who are either there or have family members or someone who are friends and so on. So we do want to keep this situation in mind. Let me go back to Enrich. The newsletter, the seasonal newsletter from Bluegrass Community Foundation, that comes out of Lexington, funding agency, and we participate, Madison County participates, the Madison County Community Fund, but the newsletter features Enrich and gives the mural, and the fact that the mural actually gives the history of that building. Wood Chevrolet, Madison Garage, Lowe's Discount Drug, the Teen Club, Macy's Upholstery Shop, Eastern School of Hair Design, Andy's Pizza Palace, Cherries, and the Cherry Pit. Then Enrich. If anybody would like to read this, I'm not sure if this is the only copy that comes into City Hall. I certainly will share it with anyone who would like. But that's wonderful. It says communities fund enriching Richmond's history and hope. That's a good thing. All hearts and minds clear? Anything else? All right.
Hammer time. Hammer time.
Hammer time.
Hey, we've got our own, we've got M.R. Hammer leading the show here. It's like Mayor / Reverend
That's
M.R.
a
Hammer.
long story. Well, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Brewer, Commissioner Cole. Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you, and thanks to all of you